Hi and welcome. In this video, I'm going to address the gender pay gap regarding women in management. Let's go. Women are underrepresented in leadership positions and overrepresented in lower paid jobs. They often earn less than men doing the same job. This gender pay gap is relevant because it discourages progression and inhibits women's careers. The gender pay gap is structural discrimination that cannot be traced back to individual women's career choices only. So what is the gender pay gap? The gender pay gap measures the difference in average hourly earnings between men and women. It serves as a gender equality indicator in working life. It is differentiated between the adjusted and the unadjusted gender pay gap. The unadjusted gender pay gap indicates the general differences in average hourly wages between men and women. It doesn't consider structural differences. It's used to compare the average earnings of men and women in general and is also used to monetize imbalances in earnings. The adjusted gender pay gap describes the difference in the average hourly wages considering structural differences, such as comparable qualifications, occupation, and industry. It measures the difference between women's and men's salaries if all other pay-related conditions were the same. How big is the gender pay gap? In Europe, for instance, the average gender pay gap was at 13% in 2020. Here's how big the gender pay gap is in some European countries. The lowest gap exists in Luxembourg with 0.7%. In Lithuania, the gap is around 13%. In France, there's a 15.8% gender pay gap, and in Latvia, where they count the biggest gender pay gap in Europe, it's up to 22.3%. In Germany, the average pay gap was at 18.3% in 2020. How does the pay gap differ in sectors? In 2020, the gender pay gap differed per sectors as followed. Within the field of business economy, the gender pay gap was at 21.6%. In manufacturing, women got paid 21.8% less than men. On the construction side, women make 10.9% less. For financial and insurance activities, the gender pay gap was at 23.3%. In real estate activities, 15.5%. And for professional, scientific and technical activities, women get paid 27.5% less than men. Let me show you how that gender pay gap adds up over time. A gender pay gap of 6% would add up as followed. If the gross monthly payment for a man on full-time as a chef is 2,108 euros and the woman makes 6% less, that results in a gross monthly payment of 1,982 euros. The 6% might doesn't seem a lot to you, but it adds up over time. Per month the woman makes 126.48 euros less than the man. That results in 1,517.75 a year, which then in turn in 30 years employment results in 45,532 euros and 80 cents less money than the man makes. That gets us to the question, why do women earn less? As well as measuring pay discrimination, the gender pay gap encompasses a number of other inequalities women face, such as their access to work, opportunities for advancement, and rewards. One of the reasons is the sectorial segregation. About 24% of the gender pay gap is related to the overrepresentation of women in relatively low-paid sectors. These sectors are, for instance, care, health, and education. Highly feminized jobs tend to be systematically undervalued. Another reason is the unequal share of paid and unpaid work. Women have more weekly working hours than men, but spend more hours on unpaid work, which also might affect their career choice. The glass ceiling also plays a role. Less than 8% CEOs of top companies are women. Managers in Europe have the biggest differences. The hourly earnings for women were 23% lower than for men. Another reason is the pay discrimination. In lots of cases, women still earn less money for equal work. Even if a principle of equal pay is enshrined in the European Treaty since 1957. The principle states, besides other things, that members of Europe should ensure that the principle of equal pay for male and female workers for equal work or work of equal value is applied. It is important that women are aware of these hidden barriers and feel encouraged to address them. Individuals in leadership positions need to monitor gender pay differences and act on them, which is also a legal requirement in Germany, for example, to improve equality and job satisfaction. It should also be every company's core responsibility to ensure that employees are treated and rewarded equally, no matter the gender.